Okay, yeah, I'm in my video hoodie again. I'm on the floor again. Okay, so yet another topic I wanted to talk about was I remember that I have like a file where I have the video titles and like the ideas for it. I'm not sure how the other creators do it. I actually never like asked any of them ever. And also don't have a lot of creative friends. Actually don't have anyone who's like creatively putting stuff out there in my friends circle, simply because I just was a very like a different circles of people, and yeah, was never in the creative field. Anyway, so the topic was about thoughts and expectations being the enemy, and it ties a bit to what I was talking about in the video about the always waiting. And whenever one is always waiting, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to create. And um, basically, the whenever you create something, we'll try to explain that because so some of the things I'm thinking about are kind of clear in my head, or and sometimes it's not clear until I try to explain it or even write it, because the things in writing are not quite the same as the things said out loud. Said out loud. So whenever you create something that you think is worth being seen by the world, you keep kind of almost attaching yourself to that idea of one day a success. You kind of attach yourself to that moment where you will quote unquote make it, and you kind of imagine yourself being in that moment and being the one which is getting read and getting attention and getting people to look at her or at him, and getting your like a writing out there and getting, maybe even some people imagine it, famous or having a lot of money, or like, have you ever had that where you kind of imagined your success and imagined it so much that you got sick of it? You got sick of that mental image, especially when your life is not at all kind of similar to that, and not even close, where I feel like a lot of content, and it actually pisses me off at times, is based around that idea of making it, like really making it in life, making it creatively, making it in business, making it this, making it that, having 100,000 views, having a million subscribers, having this, like making it, even though making it doesn't really exist. I mean, success, like it's very, like, I mean, there's no, the feelings that are being felt are, what I mean is that it's just a moment, it's just a moment, a fleeting moment. Whenever someone accepts you, whenever someone sees you, whenever someone appreciates you, whenever, basically making it in life, I don't want to say that it's a bit of an illusion, because everyone has made it and not made it at the same time. Because if everyone is here on earth, then everyone has made it in a certain sense. Well, I'm feeling like I'm getting a bit big here, but what I mean is, like, sometimes you do attach, like someone who wants something, you do attach yourself to that idea, where you kind of imagine stuff, and you almost even, like I in the past tried to kind of manifest and like call it in or whatever, like you imagine a different outlook, a different picture, a different future, and you're kind of like so enamored with it. You're so enamored with that idea that your book is going to be big, that your like thing is going to be big, that you're going to be called like all those nice words, and people are going to give you all those compliments, and you're going to be accomplished, and you're going to be like successful. I mean, you're so like, you're making yourself sick with it. Even though people say that you have to imagine yourself in a different reality before that reality appears, and I do get where they get the idea from, and I have indeed tried to do it as well, because imagination is never idle. It's never not active. So, and also writers are people with overactive imagination as it is, but like sometimes you are kind of too attached to that thing that one day it will happen, you know. One day a literary agent will get back to me and ask for my full manuscript, even though I haven't started querying it. That will be like a whole different thing, whole different probably series of videos. I don't know. But like one day a literary agent will offer me representation. Like one day my book will come out. One day someone will post about it on Instagram. One day someone will tag me. One day like I will really really make it. I will see it on a shelf, like, and sometimes you're kind of like too, you're holding on to that idea for dear life. Like you're holding on to the idea of the creative success for dear life, like literally gripping onto it like it's a raft of the Titanic, and you're honestly Leo DiCaprio who is dying and diving in, yeah, in the water, but you're gripping onto that like raft like a madman or a mad woman onto that idea that I'm going to make it one day, I'm going to make it one day, it's going to happen for me. And I think people can drive themselves crazy by it. I'm sorry, but I think it's true. And also, they like it's never the same. Like if they ever do make I don't think it's ever the same. And also, they if they ever do make it, it's never like they imagined it to be. I mean, it's all very gradual for most people. It's all very gradual for most writers. Like a lot of for writers that are famous now, they were not famous for decades. They had like hundreds of people only reading their books for decades, and then they got catapulted by like a series or something. You know. Sorry, I have to check the time. Okay, 6 minutes. So I can still rant a bit more. So what I mean is, like, you see what I mean, right? That like you get so sick of that idea, you grab onto it so tightly. And I feel like I grabbed onto it so tightly that one day it's going to be read, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. And that day didn't come, and then didn't come, and then didn't come, and then didn't come. And I know very well why it did not come. First of all, because like for a very long time I was just kind of like working it, and I didn't have like first of all finished manuscript, and second of all finished manuscript fit enough to like show to actually professional people who work in that industry and who can give me adequate feedback. It was just not like, I mean, like for the longest time I just had to like work on something that is worth showing, and I'm still working on it, by the way. I'm like on draft 2, but like at least I'm confident that I finish it, like, you know. So like at least that is good. But like for the longest time I was just kind of, I was working it, and I had to like grow as a writer, I had to grow as a creator, grow as an artist, and I'm still growing. But it takes years to kind of get your ideas onto a finished book and like mature. And yeah, some people make it young, I know, but first of all it had to be worked at, like really, and I think I will be my whole life be working on it, honestly. Second of all, I didn't do much to actually put myself out there, which is very clear. Like, and if you don't put yourself out there, it's much harder. Like, it's almost impossible at times. And also, most importantly, I was not confident enough and not like making enough moves and making enough actions to like make that day come faster. You know, like I was not getting enough steps in, so to say. Like every day, for example, I walk for 10,000 steps for already like more than a year, so very proud of myself for that. But I mean, I was not get taking enough steps, because you know publication or like making it or whatever involves like maybe thousands, hundreds, I don't know how many steps, and you have to take all those steps. And like, and I was just kind of latching onto like that one day, whenever that day comes, and latching onto that idea like so strongly, instead of like actually walking faster, you know. And I still find myself in that situation where I'm kind of daydreaming and kind of thinking about it in my idle time and like in my free time or whatever, talking about it with my friends, and like, you know, theorizing about it and like rewriting it endlessly and like editing. Well, it's like a bit of a different, like I'm touching on a few different things right now, but you see what I mean. Like just having that like glimpse of how it could be, having that one day that will come one day, and you know, the day of making it, the happy day. even though I this idea is dangerous and this thought is dangerous. It's dangerous because it's a torture. It's a torture for a person who actually wants it. Because like instead of walking and focusing on the process and focusing on what's happening right now and on today and on my writing today and my creating today and like my output right now today, this video, this thumbnail, this person, like this conversation, this idea, this creative, like working it today and making the steps and making the plan and like focusing on the advancing of that project, to kind of latching onto this one brilliant, like, poof, you've made it, poof, people are uploading, poof, reviews on Amazon, poof, you know, like, and I find that maybe, like, I think maybe I'm generalizing, but I think a lot of people are daydreaming about their dreams their whole life, maybe even like years. They are daydreaming about something, and and they imagine that day in such specific detail, and they imagine like that outcome so clearly and so like in vivid detail, how people are going to compliment them and what are they going to say and what they will appreciate, what will they appreciate about the book, and will they like the main character, and will they like the dynamic between the main character and their love interest. And they're so like in intent, and they are so like have this date down to like a minute, and actually like what they should be concentrating on is today and working towards it. And yeah, I get into that trap, and in the trap of my own thoughts and of my own expectations, and again of waiting for that day, like waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, like, okay, when will this come? Is it in 2 months? Is it in 3 months? Is it in 3 years? How long do I have to wait? Like, how, like, when's the success coming? When's the success coming? And it's so, I mean, I've tortured myself with it like for so long, and I kind of like keep dragging that idea away from me and keep like telling myself, listen, you're like focusing on the wrong thing. You are thinking about the wrong thing entirely. Like in some timeline, sorry for being all esoteric and whatever, but in some line it already happened. Like it happened. And you know, just think that it already happened. Just work your craft. Move on, move forward, move. Like do things to move forward towards that day. And whenever that day comes on, even if it's not just a day, even if it's like 100 days or I don't know, like move towards it. That's what you have to do.